Good afternoon. From today, masks will no longer be legally required in places like shops and restaurants, but many businesses are still requesting that customers wear them. Transport for London says masks remain compulsory on all of its buses and trains.
The guidance on working from home was lifted last week, but many central areas of London remain quiet and hospitality businesses are still struggling. Inês Santos reports.
Hazef Cafe has opened its doors in Canary Wharf 20 years ago, and for the first time the business struggled as people were sent home after the rise in Omicron cases. The workers that would go there for their first coffee of the day were now having work meetings on their own sofa.
The thing is that here is in Canary Wharf and it's just like surrounded with the all like workplaces, buildings like banks, offices. So of course like it is affecting us a lot because our mainly customers are from those workplaces.
But now that the work from home measure was scrapped last Thursday, things may go back to normal.
Maybe we can start to feel the effects in few weeks, but at the moment, yeah, for us, nothing really changed.
Canary Wharf is known for its skyscrapers, and it is often called London's own New York. It contains around 16 million square feet of office and retail space. Before the pandemic, more than 100,000 people would go to Canary Wharf to work every day. But since 2020, its streets have been empty. From this week, they seem to be filling up again.
Last week, Boris Johnson announced that Londoners can go back to the office. No more work from home due to the pandemic. After 2 years of sacrifice, the Prime Minister says that there is finally a light at the end of the tunnel. Other measures include no more masks in shops and public transport and the end of vaccine passports. For some, this is too early, but for others, it's a relief.
I think it depends on the individual as well. You know, some people really prefer working in a collaborative environment and having the chance to work with their colleagues, but also, you know, I think it's important that we take all opinions into account and don't force anyone to come back for 5 days should they not want to.
I have a son, so it's easier for me to have at least 2 days working from home.
I think generally inviting people to come back into the office and incentivizing them to do so, I think is really, really good in terms of passing those skills on to new generation of workers.
As well as affecting workers, an empty Canary Wharf has economic effects on the businesses around the offices, like cafes, restaurants and public transport. Inês Santos, Canary Wharf, Gold News.
Today is St Patrick's Day and celebrations are back in London after being put on hold for 2 years because of the coronavirus pandemic.
The Green Parade filled the streets of central London, culminating in a festival at Trafalgar Square. Nupur Jambikar went to find out more.
Ahead of the Irish holiday, thousands gathered in Trafalgar Square last weekend to celebrate St Patrick's Day.
Trafalgar Square, how we doing?
The festival celebrated all things Irish, from food to drinks, but what dominated the event was dance. There has been a St Patrick's Day parade in London every year since 2002, until the pandemic hit. Now it's back, and it has kicked off with the usual parade stretching almost a mile and a half.
Almost 50,000 people from all across London have joined us here today at the Trafalgar Square. The St Patrick's Day parade that started at Hyde Park is now concluded with youth performances, cultural events and a lot of food, and basically people enjoy to their fullest.
There are more than 1/3 Irish nationals living across the United Kingdom. But attending the event was not just them. People from all over the world came together in the heart of London to take part in the festival.
It's really nice. There is a lot of people, a lot of music, a lot of different musicians, a lot of dancers, so it's good ambience. and yes, we are happy to be here.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm not even Irish, but who cares? You know? My friend. We always come to the Irish Festival, but 2.5 years has been the virus, so we couldn't go to any festival.
Back to the festival after 2 years of waiting is Irish food restaurant Myrtle, based in Chelsea.
It's been a long 2 years. We were meant to do the festival here 2 years ago, and it was when the pandemic unfortunately happened. So delighted to come back and finally do it properly and meet all the lovely customers and people here, having fun and enjoying a lovely day. Enjoy it.
Thank you. So it's like a party or something.
It's already such a long relationship. It's already so strong, but it just reinforces it. Events like this, where you're shoulder to shoulder with English and Irish people, it just reminds how strong the bond is and how special it is.
The celebration went on for the whole Sunday afternoon, full of people with hope that things are going back to normal after the pandemic. Nupur Zambikar, Trafalgar Square, Gold News.
And finally, celebrations began last night around the world this week to mark the Lunar New Year.
Here in London, the traditional parade was cancelled because of a pandemic, causing disappointment for many. But businesses in Chinatown have still found ways to celebrate. Inês Santos has the story.
On Chinese New Year, cooking is the most important tradition. Food symbolizes good luck, prosperity and fortune, bringing smiles to people's faces, especially dumplings, which are a must on the holiday. The menu in this restaurant in London's Chinatown is rich both in taste and symbolism.
Must be have the fish, pork, beef, lamb, and some vegetables. The first for the special festival. After that, we should eat some the dumpling for the next year for the lucky.
The holiday brought many visitors to Chinatown, some in festive mode, others disappointed with this year's event's cancellations due to the pandemic.
But here we just enjoy eating and then just go shopping.
This is very important for our Chinese because it's a day for us family to get together.
It is the first time that I celebrate Chinese New Year in another country. So I really understand how I miss my family and how much we wish that we can celebrate this special day together. But given this current situation, I'm not able to going back to my country.
There isn't any dragon dance and no stage. Hopefully next year the dragon will be danced on the street.
It's the year of the tiger, but despite his restrictions, the usual colorful parade on West End was cancelled and many events moved online.
祝你新年快乐, that is Happy New Year in Chinese. And for the second year in a row, people are congratulating it in a pandemic without the usual parade. But people are hoping that next year, the year of the rabbit, a smaller animal, will bring bigger crowds and parties to Chinatown. Inês Santos, Chinatown, Gold News.
Do I thrift? Yeah, I do thrift. I think it's really important to look for second-hand clothes instead of new ones. So if you see something you like, then you can check it out, see if it's in any charity shops before you go and buy it.
I read like an article about how like all the clothes that get thrown away into like landfill when there's so many clothes that are second hand, and plus a lot of it goes to charity, so I try and do my part.
I think there has been both kind of an attitude shift with thrifting and people are realising that it can help climate change. I remember, for example, when I was younger, it wasn't the cool thing to wear second-hand clothes, to go to charity shops, and now there's been a complete 180 and it's the cool thing to do to be sustainable.
Greenwich and Peckham. This is Goldsmiths Radio.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Inês Santos for Goldsmiths Radio. Strike action continues this morning at Goldsmiths University as members of the UCU, the University and College Union, protest against staff redundancies. The disruption to teaching is intended to last until early March. I went to the picket lines to find out more. Picket lines have gone up at several entrances on campus, with teachers, admin staff, and students alike protesting. Lecturer Rachel Moore says she feels undervalued.
Everybody's individuality, care, and love that they put into specific jobs are over. And as far as I'm concerned, it makes the world meaningless, it makes your work meaningless, and it will make this institution completely meaningless.
G, who studies English, said her teaching has been severely affected.
It's been affected a lot. Like, most of my tutors are on strike. All of my tutors were on strike last time. But it's for a good cause, so, I don't really mind.
Goldsmiths has invited the Universities and Colleges Union, or UCU, for talks. The UK will not be able to fly British nationals out of Ukraine if Russia invades. Armed Forces Minister James Heappey warns Britons to leave as soon as possible and that the Royal Air Force would not rescue anyone. A number of other countries, including the United States, have also warned people to leave Ukraine. The US said on Sunday that it would defend every inch of NATO territory and has begun an emergency airlift of American nationals before the potential invasion. And finally, thongs are making a comeback. Have you ever liked your underwear so much you wish you could show it off to people? Well, you're in luck because the visible thong is back in style. Celebrities like Dua Lipa, Bella Hadid, and Hailey Bieber have made the exposed thong and G-string happen again. We asked Londoners if this is a trend they can get behind.
Yeah, sometimes we do that.
So. Yeah.
Like if you're wearing like a low-waist trouser.
A bit of pant showing.
Yeah, it's sexy.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't think I have the body for that. And it's also such a 2000s trend. I can't imagine it coming back and staying for a long time.
Like in front of my friends, I might. Not in public.
Absolutely. That is hard. That's so hard.
Goldsmiths Radio Sport.
Team GB's men curling team have recorded a 5th win at the Winter Olympics. In cricket, the auction for players is on for the 15th edition of the Indian Premier League, which starts in April. The British Horse Racing Authority is investigating an old video of double Olympic gold medalist Sir Mark Todd striking a horse with a branch. The video has been shared on social media.
Goldsmiths Radio weather.
A dry and sunny day with light winds and a top temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. That's 54 Fahrenheit. In Greenwich, it is currently 8 degrees. Goldsmiths Radio News, it's 3 minutes past 11.